So I read across a few different genres. I usually read romance, historical fiction, thrillers, and fantasy. So I figured I'd share the books that I'm reading currently within those four genres. Hi friend, welcome back to my channel. I'm Clarissa C, or Simply Clarissa, and here we chat about all things books, a splash of fitness, lifestyle, motherhood, all the things. So today though, we're going to be chatting mostly and only actually about books. So as I said, I usually read across four different genres. Mostly. I mean, I do read self-help, but that's very seldom, so I'm not even going to count that. I used to read it a lot, but not so much anymore. Anyhow, romance, historical fiction, fantasy, and thrillers. So right now, for a romance read, I'm reading Broken Clocks by Danielle, and I absolutely am loving this book. I'm about 40% of the way through. When I started, I'll be honest, I was like, I don't know. But I know that I love her writing because I've read other books by her. I read Plus Size Player and I read Curvy Girl Summer. And I think I read another one, but I can't remember what it is right now. I think that was a novella, a Christmas novella by her. And I think that was last year when I like first started really getting back into books, like reading fiction again. And this book is about a couple, well, two people who should be a couple, but they're not a couple. And basically it's just like wrong timing all the time. But they have incredible chemistry, incredible camaraderie. Like they're just perfect for each other, but it never seems to be perfect timing. And they also kind of want different things in life, which is explained in the book, and I don't want to spoil it, so I will say to read the book because it's definitely really good. Even though I'm only 45% of the way through, I would highly recommend this to somebody. I think this would probably be a 5-star for me, and I'm not even done yet. I will automatically read anything by Danielle at this point. She is a Black author, and I just love her writing style. It's easy to read. It's fun. She deals with real topics, but she makes it palatable, as you would say. Her writing tends to be a bit spicy. Yes, it is. But I mean, I don't mind that as long as it's got plot. And her books always have plot. The spice fits into the plot perfectly. It makes sense. So I'm really enjoying that book right now. So that's my romance read for right now. As for thrillers, I did just finish a thriller with my book club, which I'm very thrilled about. No pun intended. However, I'm really thrilled that I'm in a book club now. We started a book club, me and a couple of friends, and it's just been really good. It's only the first book. We decided to read a Freida McFadden book. I've never read one. I think I was the only one out of us who hasn't read one, and that's because I've been leaning towards reading mostly Black authors. So I haven't read anything by her yet. However, I hear great things about her writing, especially when it comes to thrillers. I don't know if she rates anything else, any other type of genre, but I do know that people love her thrillers. It was a little novella called The Widow's Husband's Secret Lie. And it's actually a satirical novella. Freida McFadden does mention that in like the disclaimer or something like that. And basically she wrote the book to poke fun at her writing for those who hate her writing, and to poke fun at her writing for those who love her writing and understand like what she was like, the joke that she's making or whatever about her writing style. And I enjoyed it. It was kind of crazy. And it was really short, but we decided to read halfway through, and then when we realized how quickly we read it, we decided that we were going to read the whole book and then meet to talk about the book. So we'll meet about that next week. However, the thriller that I'm going to read on my own is called We Don't Talk About Carol, and it's by who is it by? Kristen L. Berry, I believe it is. And it's a book that I've been wanting to read for a while. I just wasn't in the mood to read a thriller for a little while, so I didn't read it. It's just been sitting in my Kindle book on my Kindle bookshelf. And it's about a girl a woman who I believe is a journalist, and she comes across a picture of an old family member that she's never met or never seen before. So she asks about it, and she's dismissed with the simple statement of, "We don't talk about Carol." So when there's a death in her family, and then once the death happens, she decides to go forward with investigating around this family member or this person that she saw in her family photo album, that she has no idea who she is, but she knows that she has to have been a part of the family or whatever. So I'm curious to see how this plays out and what happened to Carol, or who Carol actually is. So that's the thriller that I'm reading right now. I believe this is by a Black author. I believe. Let me check. I'm pretty sure it is. Yes, she is a Black woman. Kristen Berry. So I'm excited to get into that one. I'll probably continue to read that. I'll probably be done with that within like a week. I'm trying to just read my books rather than putting them off to the side and stuff like that. Now, a fantasy that I'm going to read, and I haven't been reading fantasy very much because fantasy can be long, and they're usually series, and the last fantasy series that I read was Percy Jackson and Olympians, I believe it was. And it's a YA, so it's young adult, and the writing style was, I don't know, it felt too young for me, so I was just like, nah, I'm not gonna read it. I didn't like the writing style anymore for like where I am in my life. I do love Harry Potter, and I'll still read Harry Potter almost every year just to read them. Books 1 through 7, okay? But I was like, I want to read some more fantasy, and I want to read fantasy by Black authors, because I don't find many that I've actually been into, and fantasy could be a lot because there's a lot of world building, so it could kind of feel like it's going to start off slow. Plus the books are really, really thick. Like, they're like, most fantasy books are like this thick, okay? But I'm gonna try Vicious Bonds by Shanora Williams, and Shanora Williams is a Black author who I've read thrillers by. I just finished a thriller by her called Whispers of the Lake. 5 stars. Absolutely loved it, okay? And I read another one by her, another thriller by her called The Wife Before, and I think I rated that 4 stars. I really enjoyed that too. I love a thriller that has the element of like the person that they're looking for, the person that is like disappeared or whatever. Like, there's like journal entries or something of the sort that you can kind of flash back to. It gives you insight to the character that the mystery may be around, which I really enjoy. But anyway, about the fantasy, I'm like, you know what? I love her writing style, so let me try this fantasy. I didn't know she wrote fantasy, so I'm going to try that. So I think it's a 3-book series. I know the second one is called Wicked Ties, and I forget what the third one is called, but the first one is Vicious Bonds, so we're going to start there. I think it's like 400 or so pages. I haven't read a book that was that long since Harry Potter, but we'll see. I'm going to do it over the course of the fall and the winter, because, you know, those are like cozy reads. So I'm going to read those while I'm like drinking hot chocolate, chilling while my baby is playing, you know, those kind of things. And over time, I'm not going to speed through it or try to speed through it unless they like grip me. If they grip me, then I might just end up reading all of those and putting everything else to the side for the moment. Yes, I am a mood reader. And lastly, historical fiction. I am going to read Harlem Rhapsody, which is a Black historical fiction about a woman who pretty much, I don't know if she jump-started it, but she played a major role in the Harlem Renaissance. And I don't really know much about the Harlem Renaissance, so it's really good for me to read this. I did read a book that talked about the Harlem Renaissance before. It was a romance by Kennedy Ryan called Real. She's also coming out with the next book in that series called Score. She just said, I can't remember when it's supposed to release, but I'm so excited about it because I love Kennedy Ryan. But historical fiction. Harlem Rhapsody. I have it as a physical copy as well as a Kindle copy. However, I'm going to read it on my Kindle. I have the book trophy already because I knew I was going to love it. And even if I didn't love it, I knew that I would want somebody, namely probably my daughter when she's older, to read this book. Why? Because if it's got good information in it, historical facts about our people, then I would want her to, to take a look at it. She doesn't have to love it, because if I didn't love it, but I kept it, you get my point. Anyhow, somebody I know will love it. So even if I don't, I would lend it out to somebody. And I love to collect books, so there's that. Anyhow, I'm looking forward to reading that. I'm going to read it on my Kindle though, because reading around my toddler means that my actual book will end up ripped up and written on and all the things, and I don't have it in me for that. So I'm looking to read that on my Kindle. I already have it on my Kindle shelf. I did purchase both of them. So that's not on Kindle Unlimited. I think out of all the books that I've mentioned so far, only 2 of them on Kindle Unlimited. Let me see. Broken Clocks is on Kindle Unlimited. But if it's a 5-star for me, like I think, I'm probably going to end up buying it. We Don't Talk About Carol, I bought. And if I really love it, I'm going to get the physical copy too. I already have the physical copy of Harlem Rhapsody and Vicious Bonds by Shanora Williams. If I really love that series, I'm going to make sure that I have that on my bookshelf as well, physically. So that's what I'm reading, friend. Thanks for listening to me chat about my books. Thanks for listening to me rant about my books, per usual. And if this is your vibe, subscribe and join the tribe. Also, leave in the comment section what it is that you prefer to read, the genres that you read across, or the main genre that you read, if it's for comfort, whatever it's for. And leave me some recommendations to read as well. I'm always looking for new books to read, especially if they're by black authors. But not only, but especially. All right, friend. Later.